Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising, here is your reading. Not for the week ahead, as we usually look at, but rather as we enter the end of the year, I thought it would be a really great opportunity to look at the year ahead. So this is your 2025 forecast reading. Things to look out for, things to cultivate. We start with the Magician card, so new ideas, inspiration coming through. The Magician is ruled by the trump number 1, so all about new beginnings, relates very strongly with the aces, new plans, new thoughts, new ideas of where to go, where to head, where to take things in your life. This will catalyze what we see within the Judgment card, and that is a personal revelation. You may be shedding ideas of who you thought you were and moving to new aspects that may be reflected in your work, in your home, in your personal life, in your relationships, perhaps across the board. So it's feeling quite a seismic year. Indeed, you've got 4 major arcana out of 5 cards. Major arcanas indicating exactly that. Big shifts, big changes within the universe. And this is particularly on, firstly, an internal sense, and then that being reflected in your external world. So I would advise against changing things unnecessarily externally until feels aligned or feels a calling from what's coming inside. I would really allow that to reveal itself and resolve itself, and then making the necessary changes, because if you don't, you could very well change your job, change your house, and some of those questions remain unanswered. And just assuming, well, I thought it was because I wasn't happy in my job, or I thought it was because I wanted to be in a new part of the world or a new neighborhood, or whatever that may be. But what you've effectively done is delay some of that internal recognition and understanding. We've got the 7 of Pentacles here in combination with that Judgment card and the Magician card. And the 7 of Pentacles I often see as a very reflective energy, looking at those seeds that we've sown and how far we've come. 7 is the number of endurance. And it's just before the 8, 9, 10. So it knows that it's still got a little way to go, but can certainly recognize that you're past the halfway point on many aspects of your life, particularly with the Pentacles relating to abundance, things that are manifest within our lives. So that can be financially, within our work, anything that we've basically been applying ourselves to. So it doesn't necessarily have to be vocation or work for which we get paid, but certainly those projects, those endeavors that we've been working on for quite some time, recognizing, okay, I've got so far, I've got to X point, but I've still got these last little bits to get through until it reaches completion. And I suppose there's a bit of a crux point, a bit of a question to ask. Actually, do I want to push through to see it through to its completion, to its entirety? Or has this not perhaps been or brought me what I expected it to? There's always a slight ambiguous look on the card in the 7 of Pentacles. He's looking at his crops. He's looking at the things that he's spent many, many hours toiling away at. And we can't quite tell if he's looking slightly disappointed that he maybe expected more, or he's just looking at this point of reflection of going, okay, what should I do next? So don't be surprised if those feelings and thoughts come up. It may at times feel like you're abandoning things because you've got so close to the end, but then these questions of doubt are starting to creep in. It's completely up to you to decide, particularly if this is a habitual thing. If you tend to have difficulty seeing projects to their completion, then maybe this is a time for you to pull up your bootstraps and press on with it. But ultimately, and for the majority of the time, I would say, even at those times that we have been working particularly hard on things and we've got them to a particular point, and then we're thinking, actually, I want to do something different, I want to try something different, I would really, really encourage you to listen to that. That is part and parcel of what the Judgment card represents. It represents listening to the call, listening to the divine call, as does in some ways the Magician, arguably, because this is about channeling grace, about channeling the divine and making it manifest. The Judgment card is ruled by the Hebrew letter Shin, which literally means serpent's tooth. It is also ruled by the element of fire. So these are very dynamic forces that bring about change, but sometimes bring about change in a slightly, I'm going to use the word violent way. That isn't unpleasant necessarily. It's just all encompassing. It's quite rapid. It's very felt. This again is part and parcel of why I said this isn't going to be a quiet year for you. It's quite big shift, but some very, very exciting shifts with that. But initially they might feel, I'm going to say painful. It's not necessarily that. The serpent's tooth is an interesting thing because it's the serpent that bites us in order for us to figure out how we can heal ourselves. It is the catalyst. It's the poison. It's the necessary poison to bring about the cure. And this is what the Judgment card represents. So don't be surprised, Pisces, if you enter the year and leave the year in quite different states of minds or with quite different outlooks and engaged in different projects. If it's not different projects, it's at least a different approach or a different way of looking at these things. You have here, I've been pulling for each of the star signs as well, an oracle card, just to give that slightly more rounded reading as we're looking at a year rather than just a week. And I've been pulling cards from the Daily Crystal Inspiration by Heather Askinosi. And the card that I got for you was Labradorite, or I always struggle with this. Labradorite. There we go. And it's a really, really beautiful stone that connects very much with our sense of intuition, the third eye, the crown, all of the, and the message here is see the magic, see the magic. And this is something I really want you to hold on to. What is great is it's a bit like saying to Capricorn, work hard. It's just something that comes naturally. So Pisces, you are able to see the magic within all things and the universe. It's just a reminder, don't lose that. Don't lose sight of that. I say this now in particular, it's quite ironic that I mentioned Capricorn there because we have Capricorn's ruling card, the devil, but also Aries ruling card here. Aries and Capricorn obviously have this great overlap of being horned beasts, horned animals. And it can be quite at odds with the Piscean energy that's much more gentle, much more ethereal, much more celestial. You may find, therefore, with the Emperor and the Devil, that there's issues with authority. There are people telling you what to do, what you can't do, in particular, red tape, oppression in some ways, and particularly you feeling the roadblocks or the frustrations. It's like the excitement of the Judgment card. Oh, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to explore. These are the big ideas that I have, and I want to enact them. And then just at the moment that you're trying to get them off the ground, you're hit with potentially no's, or even hit with people saying, no, you can't do that. You're not allowed to do that. Because there are these personal revelations, because you've reached the point of 7 along the scale, it's unsurprising that people around you might be saying, what are you doing? You've got to finish this. You've got to complete this. It's absolute lunacy to kind of throw it all in and throw in the towel. The only thing that you can answer to is yourself, and the only thing that you can stay true to is yourself. So only you will know ultimately what is right in amongst that. I would really guard against and really keep in check that, well, twofold, that you're not doing things under the auspiciousness of others. What I mean by that is you're not giving all your power, your time, your dedication to others. This will be particularly within work, but not exclusively. This talks about kind of any relationship dynamics. Are you giving up your power to please others? Are you allowing other people to be too dictatorial within your life of what you can and can't do? This is particularly authority figures, but not exclusively. There's partly that. Partly too is that the emperor and the devil's mudra, his hand symbol, if I can do it, and it's easier with that sign, with that hand, is this, and that means he denies that there's anything above us. He is saying that all you see is all you get. That is what that mudra, that hand gesture means. The emperor is quite similar. He likes order, he likes structure, he likes the tangible world very much, as does Capricorn and Aries. And they're able to very much push through things. They're very resourceful, which is great, but it's not suitable to the energies of what you need. So if you've lost a sense of magic, it's really key, really important, Pisces, that you reconnect with it. Again, this is so true for your star sign more than anybody else's. As soon as that sense of otherness, that sense of otherworldliness goes out of your life, then it starts to get very heavy, very grim, very serious, very stern. So don't allow particularly other people to deny that. Don't allow, it's just a simple thing. I personally believe that there are other beings that exist, things like fairies, things like elves, things like gnomes, all of these mythical creatures. And a lot of other people go, that's a load of tosh, that doesn't exist at all. And that's completely their prerogative. That's completely up to them. But it's about not taking that on so that it limits my own belief system. It's really, really key. And, because you've experienced, it's not always up to you to make other people believe your experiences. If your experience feels real for you, particularly when it seems it's almost fantastical, and fantastical experiences are really part of living a spiritual life, right? Often the times when I'm in deep meditation or I'm connecting with my guides, I have these experiences that are almost inexplicable. If I said them to other people, they'd almost seem daft or unbelievable. And that's absolutely fine. That's, what's magic for us doesn't necessarily have to be magic for other people, nor do we have to prove to other people that that sense of magic or that experience that happened to us happened. So at times it may feel a little bit isolating because of that, but just really keep the faith, keep transforming, keep seeing the magic in everything that you do, and you will be fine. So that is my reading for you, Pisces. I really hope that helps and inspires. If you're looking for more and you want more insights, more guidance, more reassurance, then be sure to check out your rising sign, your moon sign, and your sun sign for a really in-depth look at what 2025 might bring you. But until the very next year, I wish you the very, very best. Enjoy this last remaining week of 2024, and I shall see you on the other side. Bye for now.